A demonstration of how to properly hand crank a Famall cub. This tractor is a 1961 model. Most cubs have a dash panel similar to the one shown here. We'll look at the individual controls as we need to use them. Before we start, we need to check fluids in the tractor. This is the dipstick for the engine oil. In this case, it's a little on the low side, but it's okay, so we'll continue. Coolant level in the radiator is checked by simply looking in the filler cap to see if the level is visible. Similar check is done to see if there's enough fuel for what we plan to use the tractor for today. After checking the fluid levels, we need to turn on the fuel underneath the fuel tank. This is a backseating valve, so to make sure that it doesn't leak, it needs to be opened as far as it will go. Next, we set all the controls in the proper position for starting. Check the shift lever to make sure the transmission is in neutral. Set the throttle control about halfway. Pull the choke out as needed and turn on the ignition switch. Next, we remove the crank from its storage location on the tractor platform, put it in the front and engage it into the engine so that we can start cranking. Proper grip of the crank and your stance when cranking an engine are critical to avoiding injury. Always hold the crank with your thumb on the same side of the handle as the rest of your fingers. Crank the engine by giving one direct pull up on the crank handle. As soon as the engine starts, readjust the choke controls so that the engine will run smoothly as it warms up. The same tractor can be started with the electric starter. You do the same checks, get on the tractor, hold the clutch pedal down as a safety precaution, check the transmission, make sure it's in neutral, check the throttles set about halfway, turn on the ignition switch, pull the choke out, and then pull the starter rod. Once the engine starts, you push the choke back in and you're ready to go. This is a 66 Cub lowboy. This style dash panel was first installed in 1964 when the tractors changed to a 12-volt system. They changed to a key-type ignition switch and replaced the starter pull rod with a push switch. Otherwise, the starting procedure is the same as the earlier tractors. This is a 79 Cub. The dash was changed to this style in 75. At that point, the key switch was changed to incorporate the starter switch, eliminating the separate button, and the pull rod for the choke was replaced with a flexible cable. Again, other than these changes, the starting procedure remained the same.